In a quiet Ohio town, Jake Miller lived a life shaped by grease-stained hands and unbreakable love. A single dad and full-time mechanic, he spent his days fixing engines and his nights caring for his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Since a devastating car accident, Lily couldn't walk, and silence often filled their small home. Doctors from Chicago and New York had examined Lily. Some were famous, others billionaires in white coats. They ran tests, scans, and charged enormous fees. Each visit ended the same way, with polite sympathy and the words Jake feared most: "There's nothing more we can do." Hope slowly faded, but Jake refused to let it die. Every morning, Jake carried Lily from her bed to the kitchen, joking to hide his pain. Lily smiled bravely, but her eyes sometimes followed other kids walking to school outside their window. Jake saw that look every day, and it burned deeper than any physical wound he'd ever felt in his life. Late one evening, Jake stayed after hours at his garage, unable to sleep. Lily sat nearby in her wheelchair, listening to an old radio. As a soft song played, Jake noticed something unusual. Lily's foot twitched slightly, almost unnoticeable but real. Jake froze, staring, afraid to blink. "Did you move your toes?" he asked quietly. Lily nodded, surprised herself. Jake's heart pounded. No doctor had mentioned this. No report had noted it. Yet there it was, a tiny movement, ignored by experts, but seen by a father who never stopped watching. That night, Jake didn't sleep. He searched old medical books, physical therapy videos, and handwritten notes from forgotten clinics. If Billionaires had failed, he would try himself. Not because he was a doctor, but because he was a father who refused to accept a future without hope. Jake began working quietly, without telling anyone about his plan. After long days at the garage, he stayed up late studying physical therapy techniques and nerve recovery exercises. Using spare metal, soft padding, and adjustable parts, he built simple supports to help Lily gently strengthen her legs, always careful not to cause pain. Every night, Jake helped Lily practice tiny movements. Some days, nothing happened, and disappointment filled the room. Other days, Lily's legs responded just a little. Jake celebrated every inch of progress like a miracle. His patience never broke, even when exhaustion weighed heavily on his body and mind. Weeks turned into months. One cold morning, as sunlight entered the living room, Lily pushed herself up using the couch. Jake rushed forward, afraid she would fall, but she stood, trembling, unsteady, yet standing. Tears streamed down Jake's face as he whispered, "You're doing it, sweetheart." That moment was witnessed by Lily's mother, Emily, who had recently returned, hoping only to reconnect. When she saw Lily standing on her own feet, her legs gave out. She collapsed to the floor, crying uncontrollably, overwhelmed by guilt, disbelief, and pure relief. Soon Lily took her first step, then another. Word spread through the town, drawing attention from the same wealthy doctors who once dismissed her case. They admitted their mistake. Technology had blinded them to patience and human care. Jake listened politely, but their words no longer mattered. What mattered was the sound of Lily's footsteps echoing through their home. On her first day back at school, Jake watched as she walked through the doors by herself. In that small Ohio town, Jake proved that love, persistence, and faith can achieve what money and status sometimes cannot.